Xbox seems to be all in on cloud streaming. There are competitors out there. Obviously, Amazon is a competitor, but now also a partner with Game Pass coming to the Fire TV stick. I actually bought a Fire TV stick to test it out. I've not yet tested it out, but I'm very excited to do so. I've been doing a lot of cloud streaming lately just to see, okay, what's the best, what works the best, how does this thing go, how close are we? We're very close. We're like 90% of the way there for sure. There are specific games, obviously, in cloud streaming that work better than other games, but I think those kinks will be worked out. PlayStation is all in on cloud gaming as well and streaming, and so is GeForce Now. And it looks like, this is an article over at WCCFtech.com, GeForce Now streaming seems to be available directly on Xbox Game Pass for certain games. So what does that mean? That means that games that you own via Game Pass are on GeForce Now. So they stream through GeForce Now to your Xbox, which is interesting. Now, why is this partnership a huge deal? Isn't GeForce Now basically a competitor to Game Pass? And that answer would be kind of. It kind of is a competitor. Before we jump into everything, well, let me just say this first. I think this is a big deal, a big surprise. I'm an Xbox fan, you're probably saying. But no, it really is a big deal because by all measurable, objective measures, GeForce, if Xbox Game Pass streaming or Xbox Cloud streaming is 90% of the way there, GeForce Now is 98% of the way there. GeForce Now uses the top tier hardware and it beats everybody. It blows everybody away in the cloud streaming business at the moment. And the reason that GeForce Now exists is if you're a PC gamer, the logic here is you don't need to download these huge games onto your PC. Also, if you can't afford an RTX high-end graphics card, guess what? You can stream this game using those graphics directly to your PC and get the same benefits. That's how GeForce Now sells it, which means if it's tied to your Game Pass games or select Game Pass games, then now those Game Pass games are running with that same technology to your Xbox, potentially taking advantage of that badass hardware on the back end there. And that's why this is such a big deal. Let's jump into it. Let's go over this news article. Then let's go over what are the top cloud gaming services, as well as what is GeForce Now, and discuss what this means for Xbox Game Pass going forward and why I think this is a huge, huge deal and could be a giant partnership, particularly imagine all your games on Game Pass running off of the GeForce Now technology. That would be a giant earth-shattering partnership. We're not there yet, but this could be leading the way to something like that. Before we do, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. If you like videos like this, if you like videos about gaming and Xbox, this is your place for all of that stuff. I'm X1 the Gamer. Like, subscribe, and let's jump into it. So GeForce Now streaming seems to be available directly on Xbox Game Pass for certain games. On February 21st, 23, Microsoft announced a partnership with Nvidia to bring its PC games to the GeForce Now cloud platform. The move was ostensibly directed at regulators who were in the middle of the regulatory process for Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, but it was also very beneficial for consumers. A few months later, Microsoft took the obvious next step, slowly starting to allow PC Game Pass subscribers to play games through GeForce Now for select games. The list greatly expanded over time. However, the integration between the two services might be about to get even tighter, even on the console side. Several users have reported seeing an option to stream games like Street Fighter VI Resident Evil Village and Call of Duty Warzone with GeForce Now from their Xbox console. You can see it right here on the store. Included, they highlighted it here in this picture, is Street Fighter VI, included with Nvidia GeForce Now. Call of Duty Warzone, GeForce Now, and you come down to the Village, Biohazard, Nvidia GeForce Now. This is surprising, WCF Tech says. To say the least, GeForce Now is, after all, a competitor of sorts for Game Pass Ultimate, which includes the streaming feature based on xCloud. However, GeForce Now is verifiably superior. It really is. Based on, I've watched lots of videos on it. I watched lots of side-by-side tech review of both the PlayStation streaming service, Xbox's streaming service, and GeForce Now. GeForce Now blows them out of the water. It's just because they're using top-tier hardware on the back end. It's verifiably superior, offering peerless streaming quality with support for 4K resolution, HDR displays, up to 240 frames per second, integrated reflex and G-Sync technologies, and support for ray tracing, depending on the tier used. xCloud, on the other hand, is still limited to 1080 resolution and 60 frames per second. The difference is largely due to the server hardware used in the respective configurations. That's exactly what I just said. Whereas xCloud servers are based on Xbox Series X specs. And actually, From what Digital Foundry has gone through is they actually have said that it's actually the Series S blades that are being used, not Series S or Series X specs. Whereas on the PlayStation, they're using PlayStation 5. Like their blades are higher. So in some cases, you're actually getting better resolution streaming through the PlayStation service than the Xbox Cloud service because of the difference in blades that are being used and the technology on the back end. GeForce Now's Ultimate tier runs an RTX 4080 class hardware, which is estimated to be 5 times as fast. Is this a sign of Microsoft yielding to Nvidia's superior service and stopping investments in their own streaming technology? It's too early to say at this point. We've reached out to Nvidia and got a nothing to share at this time response, which suggests an announcement might be on the way. Until then, stay tuned. So, what would it mean if they do partner and Game Pass games start being streamed through GeForce Now technology? I would imagine there's some sort of rev share there with Game Pass, but as consumers, what do we get? What does Microsoft get? What does Xbox get? You get a superior streaming service without necessarily needing for Xbox to pay for the developing that and the maintenance of that. Now, who knows what kind of, remember, Microsoft has a huge streaming capabilities. They have a huge server business rather. Microsoft does. So maybe there's a partnership that way that works with Nvidia GeForce and then as a result benefits Xbox. I don't know. But if GeForce Now streaming comes to Game Pass games and there's a tight partnership there, that's absolutely huge to your console. I'm not talking about to the PC. The PC I think is a natural fit and obviously makes sense there. But coming to console, you would level up. You would go from now cloud gaming being 90% of the way there to 99% of the way there, if not 100% of the way there. It would be a substantial step up in cloud streaming for Xbox and Xbox games, and I think would absolutely be huge. So here's Cloud Wars, the best cloud gaming services of 2024, and you can see right here they rank them number 1 is GeForce Now, best cloud gaming service. The only reason Xbox Game Pass comes in number 2 actually is because multi-platform cloud game service. So they kind of say the features are hard to beat here with Xbox Cloud when you read through this, but best overall is Nvidia GeForce, and that's why this would be such a big deal. Now the question is, because this partnership doesn't make any sense if you have to now subscribe to Nvidia GeForce. It does make sense, though, if your Game Pass subscription includes... in other words, if your Game Pass subscription just includes streaming from GeForce. So there's a couple different options here when you come over to Nvidia's site and the GeForce Now. You get a day pass where you get 24 hours. I can't remember what the price is here. I want to say it's $9.99 for a day pass to stream. Maybe you're on the road and you want to stream. Here is what you get, though. You have to own your games on GeForce, which is, again, why Game Pass makes sense here if it was to interconnect. And then you get high... I mean, they're touting highest frame rates, best servers, etc., and it's $20. What is a good day pass here? A day pass is $7.99. So they have different tiers on their site. So it's $19.99 a month or $99 for 6 months. $19.99 a month gets you on the RTX 4080 rig. So you're basically playing on a top tier GPS, which then unlocks everything for you. Now, the $9.99 gives you a lower rated card, and then free you get only 1 hour session links, 6 hour session links, and then you get 8 hour obviously on the RTX 4080. Now the question here for Nvidia is how many people subscribe to this? Is this kind of a weird model? So in my mind, it does make sense for them to partner with Game Pass, to partner with Xbox on this, because obviously, like I said again, there's going to be some sort of rev share there for them. And I would imagine that this subscription model here does not have, I would imagine that they don't have that many subscribers. The fact that you're based on session links here is really interesting to me. And it's probably very costly to run. Partnering with Xbox probably negates that cost somewhat and then allows you to be who you are, and that's Nvidia. And rev share, expand your customer base, etc., etc. Expand your notoriety, expand your brand. Overall, I think it's huge, though. I think it's a big deal. I think it expands games library. I think it makes cloud gaming, like I said, 99% of the way there, if not all the way there. Because there are, like I said, cloud gaming is 90% of the way there right now on Xbox Game Pass. And really, what it comes down to is how good is your Wi-Fi. With something like this, I know people. I've watched the reviews. I've not played it myself, but there are rave reviews there. There's almost no lag. It looks great. It does operate as advertised. And we saw over here that it is the #1 cloud gaming service, top tier, no doubt. So I think it's huge. I think it benefits everybody along. I think cloud gaming is a part of the future. It's clear everybody's all in on it. I don't think it's a fad. I don't think it's something that's going away. I think that as technology continues to improve, that we will see more and more of a push to cloud gaming. And why? The answer is because with cloud gaming, in the same way that movie streaming has taken over and you can watch movies from a plethora of devices, if you can figure this out, this piece of the puzzle, you can now play video games literally on any device at any time you want because you're using hardware on the back end like the RTX 4080 to stream your games to. Would love to know what you guys think, though. Maybe you think cloud gaming is just a fad. Maybe I'm completely wrong and this is not the future. Would love to know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. My name is X1 the Gamer. We do videos like this all the time, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.